So behind the green window, it's not so usual title for this presentation. For people who knows me, I'm Romain Janil, and I'm a CityEngine user, and for many years now. And if I need to speak louder, maybe because nobody can hear me. Okay, very loud. So this is something for a change. I had to work in the VFX industry for some time, but I stepped away and was working mainly in the simulation industry. And this is a tiny some work I've done for VFX company working mainly with Unreal Engine on set production shooting, VFX for set extensions, stuff like that. And actually the modeling, it's your environments mainly. So all the modeling is done with mainly with CityEngine. So this is the reason why it's this presentation. And why green window? Because they use some tech. It's based on green screen, but it's real-time compositing with Unreal. They have their own camera solution and so on. So all the tracking is done real time, and the compositing is done real time with, in fact, instead of the green screen you have on set, you have a composition of environments rendered in real time with Unreal. For a TV show, not very known, I guess, in Switzerland and all over the world, but never mind. It was actually fun to do because it's working. No, it's not. So I don't know. Yeah, okay. So for the moment, I made two sets. One is the action is located in a hospital. So sometimes you have those massive windows and looking out the surrounding, and it's a real set. So it's set in a warehouse, big warehouse, and all the exteriors are made with CE and Unreal, and rendered with Unreal. So the company, the VFX company, gave me. So here you can see the it's a real set with actors and so on, and you have some green part, and all the sets. Yeah, it's not always on screen because it's not that important, but it's fun to do. Is made with CityEngine, not the indoor parts. But if you can have a look. So the presentation is mainly videos. So make some pause sometime to explain a bit more in detail what's actually going on and how the production was done. Because one of the main challenge of this kind of production is as usual for me, real-time rendering. So it has to be a bit lightweight in order not to have hiccups when you do the shooting in real time. So the compositing could be running fluently. So yeah, maybe we can. So it's most of the time and it's a pity actually, because I think those environments are very nice. It's most of the time out of focus, obviously, because why is it? And this is looking like so a normal CityEngine project. You see, that's what it's very used to do. This is the action is actually set in a city in the south of France. It's called Montpellier. And so it doesn't have to be accurately a representation of the city. It's more in the style of, and even it's actually better if it's not exactly the same city, because you have all these constraints also with image and so on, with architects and so on. If some buildings have some signature, the production will have to pay some rights to some copyright. So it's more look-alike city of Montpellier. Second, so this was the first set. It was actually very big, 16 square kilometers. So the took space is here. The hospital where the actual, well, you can't see me, so but yeah, it's in front. So you have all this big vista, of course, with decreasing, and we need some roads and streets and so on the foreground, but in the background it's actually empty. So yeah. So this is the an uncomposited render of the set in Unreal. Just some tests, some internal tests I usually do to make sure everything is. It's actually fun to do because it's a suburban architecture, so it's 70s, 80s, and so on. But you have also some interiors for all the buildings in the foreground. So was nice to do some one-click parameter in CGA just to okay, I want some interior for this building, and clack. So it was great. Order tree and so on. It's obviously not modeled with CityEngine. It's B3, and the same integration, I will go back just after this video, is everything is integrated in Unreal. So some of the tests, night version with all the street lightings and so on, you have to look live a bit. So you can play the windows, you can switch. There are sort of tons of animation. It's actually repeating. No, it's not. Maybe, I don't know. Looks all the same. Where is the mouse? Ah, I lost the mouse. Yeah, I know, it's okay. It's here. Okay, so okay, now the boring slide. I told everything already, so it's this set was particularly good to make with procedural dynamic graph network for the street networks and so on, because it's not specific. It's based on OSM data for the linears and so on, but it did not have any specific features on the roads and the streets, which is the case for the second project. So okay, I said, yeah, we can do that. We can almost do everything with CityEngine, so let's do that. So CGF for the ground loads, fences, walls, ground surface, etc. For the street sidewalks in the Montpellier style, of course. And of course, all the buildings are purely procedural. It means no library assets besides small assets like I don't know, yeah, everything that can't be done with CityEngine. Everything can be done with CityEngine, but it's okay. And then the export process. I don't know if I need to hurry a bit, maybe. It's regular data Smith exports. Yeah, tide scenes, export styles of the main scenes. Lot of proxies. In the foreground, all the streets, it's just meshes. And for the background, it's Data Smith CityEngine to Unreal terrain, actually. and all things that had to be detailed afterwards, like trees, bushes, and so on, are just handled by proxies in CityEngine. You've seen that was the cross tree and so on, and was all replaced with nice wind-moving trees in Unreal. Yeah, weeks. Yeah. Second one is another set, and was more challenging because so we can, yeah. So in the in the background you can see a bit of, and it's always, but whatever, out of focus. So this is night. Maybe I can, yeah, night. It's cool. Accelerate a bit. When I accelerate, it's not working. Okay. Cool. Sorry. So you have a big black screen. It's a nightmare. Okay, so next slide. Yeah, you will see some procedural things growing. Yeah, the main challenge here was the ground, because it was very specific. It was the layout of the streets was done by in this neighborhood is done. It's going very fast. Wow. So it's yeah, it's typical contemporary modern architecture. So it looks like what is actually built in this neighborhood. I won't live there, but okay. So it looks like that, and as I said, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. So, and it's actually better because the people will somehow recognize this is the action is set in this area, but the layout is the same, but the buildings are not the same. So very good to very good exercise and an opportunity to do that. And the background is regular suburban building like in the previous set. Okay, here we have some other rendering. So it's just tests made in Unreal. It was all tests because then I had to I faced a problem with the vegetation. So all the sketch was actually not so good. So I had to delete everything and hand paint a good layout in Unreal for the vegetation. So it's not looking like that right now, but it's kind of. So yeah, and one of the main interest of making a large environment like that, it's not as usual based on the shot, because we don't in fact the client doesn't really know where the camera will be, and as it's real-time compositing, it's very cool for them because they can eventually change, translate the or rotate or move the building blocks and build up their own sets just for the mood of the shot. So it's cool. And same approximately same production time for this one. So night shots. I won't speed up because it will go black. So yeah, it's all shot in real time, just to make sure that things don't pop up, things are not, there are no hiccups, no spikes in the render, and no problem with texture budget and polygon budget. Actually, this is fun because there is some virtual texturing also in Unreal here, and was very nice to the engine scene was matching to make sure that the city the big virtual texture accurately. So yeah. So as I said, and always where's the mouse is disappearing, and I don't know. Yeah, okay. Just a few minutes to conclude. Yeah, for the this one, for the street layout, it wasn't possible, unfortunately, to go too deep inside procedural modeling for the street layout, because it's was so specific with the you've seen the roundabout with all the markings and so on. So it would have been ridiculous work to do procedurally. So it's just hand modeled in other software and then imported as OBJs, I guess, or a 3D model inside with georeferenced 3D model inside inside CityEngine, and then all the texturing and so on is done with C. On the contrary, for the buildings, it's just plain CGA, and I had fun trying to be somehow crazy architects putting rooftops you've seen loggias everywhere with crazy colors and so on, and pushing the colorimetry a bit, because so it would pop out when rendered on screen. And again, data Smith exports, instances, lots of proxy, etc. And trees and vegetation, ground vegetation was done with SpeedTree. So yeah, that's it. Just next, maybe we'll do some driving scenes. So it's another challenge, and it's a work. It's not a work. It is actual shootage. So let's see if we can put some CityEngine in that. Thank you.